Oh, is court finally upon us?
Court.
Is
The
court
final
day?
day of court.
The final countdown.
There's no countdown here. I hope.
The final court day.
7 minutes.
That's all I can spare. For court. This is the defendant lobby, alright? But there's no defendant. Been trying to reach Lana all morning. Where could she be? And where's Emma, for that matter? It almost seems as if...
I actually don't remember who this is.
Something's been happening.
I think it might be Star.
Ah!
Oh no, it's Edgeworth.
Edgeworth, the last person I want to see first thing in the morning.
Knowing you, you've already figured it out.
Yep.
Who the owner of the 77777777 ID number is.
Unfortunately, well, I have a pretty strong hunch. Looks like I'm not the only one who's figured it out.
You know, the only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there was still room for doubt on this ID record. If that number does belong to whom you suspect, then no doubt will remain. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything.
True. Not yet.
In any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I can call for a ruling on the defendant. 5 minutes after the trial starts, Lana will be found guilty.
I've heard shit like that before. But she didn't do it.
I figured you'd say as much. That's why I came here, to hear what you have to say.
This is the first time he's ever done something like this. Lana's hiding something, and the only way we'll know Lana's hiding something, and the only way we'll ever know the truth is to draw it out of her.
The truth?
Everything goes back to the SL9 incident.
Don't be stupid. Today's the last day of the trial.
Everything goes back to Shadow Moses.
We don't have time to reminisce about the past.
That depends on you.
Edgeworth, we spent the entirety of your case reminiscing on the past.
Phone call.
Not anymore. Toss that shit.
If she's found guilty, you'll lose your only chance to find out what really happened.
I'll think about it.
You're dumb. Stupid.
See you in court, Wright.
Stupid.
This is it. If I'm ever gonna find out what Chief Gant has on her, it's now. Oh boy, this is gonna be a good one, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh, I have a feeling, yeah.
Here we go.
I admit that this game started kind of slow, but once
Oh, it picked up real
it
good.
started going, yeah. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Fittingly enough, it all kind of picked up once Gant showed up for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
Normally, this is when the prosecution puts its opening statement. But before that, the police chief has a proposal to make.
Chief Gant.
Morning, folks. How's everyone doing? Hey, Udgy, been back to the pool yet?
No, no. I've been drowning enough as it is in my work. Sending people
Oh,
to
that's a
prison
good
and all.
one. Don't think I can top that. If you don't mind me asking, Chief, exactly what is this proposal of yours? Lana, that is to say, the defendant, has asked me if she could speak directly to the court.
She wants to do what?
Haven't heard what she intends to say. I feel she should be granted her request. In the end, it should save everyone a lot of time and trouble.
No, not allowed. Fuck you.
What's this all about, defendant?
I'd just like to make a simple request, and I'll be finished.
If it's anything more than a Happy Meal, I don't grant it.
Well then, what's your request? Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial.
Objection!
That wasn't a Happy Meal.
Not allowed. Not okay. Absolutely not. Huh?
Lana, do you need a Snickers?
I confess to all charges against me. Have you consulted with your counsel?
No! 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 No!
I suggest you consult with counsel.
Consult with your counsel right now.
On February 21st of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce
You're
Gold
stupid!
in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office.
No, Lana!
There you go.
You can't! Your Honor, the defendant's claim does not change the defense's plea.
In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your service.
You can't just fire me.
But Lana!
Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney.
You literally can't do that.
You can.
I mean, the
You have a right,
prosecution-
but you can say no.
Yeah, the prosecution may lack direct evidence against me, but it has sufficiently proven its case through testimony and circumstantial evidence.
No. Shut up, Lana. You're
I would
dumb.
like you to render your verdict now, if you please.
Objection.
Object. No. No.
Well, the defense clearly has the right to self-representation.
Edgeworth, objection, please, bro.
Her request
Please,
is legally
bro.
valid, although this is an unprecedented situation.
There's really nothing Edgeworth can do. This is, kind of her right as a human being, as much as she's being a fucking idiot.
Yeah, this is her right. Indeed, it appears that there is no further need to continue this trial. Even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise.
This can't be happening.
It appears the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant.
Wait, what?
One moment, Your Honor.
Mr. Edgeworth?
Prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Any ruling at this stage would certainly be premature. Come now, Worthy.
Edgeworth, we need a bro.
Edgeworth.
I understand this is a difficult time for you. But why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut, hmm?
Dang.
I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Gant.
Damn.
What?
Oh!
Oh, Edgeworth.
Shit's on fire right now.
Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes.
Yeah, the head tap it's when it's game over.
You know you're
Yeah.
fucking
Sorry,
over.
but I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have me be.
It's just as dangerous as when Phoenix has that smile and shakes his head a couple times. You're fucking
Yeah.
toast.
Yes.
With this sudden confession from the defendant, it's obvious to me some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes. Some kind of deal, hmm? Not everyone operates as you do, Worthy. I thought so. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change its first witness.
Oh, to who?
As its first witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Emma Skye.
Oh no!
I request the court hears her testimony.
This Mr. Edgeworth, I'm exercising my right to self-representation. I don't think we need to continue.
I don't care what you think, Miss Sky.
Oh!
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 The exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it.
Hell yeah!
Very well. The court shall grant the prosecution's request.
Imagine looking your boss directly in the eye and telling her, I don't care what you think.
You can go fuck yourself.
Yes. That's okay, Grant. Yeah.
Worthy, you'll live to regret this, mark my words.
Your Honor, that's a threat?
Yeah, that sounds like a yeah.
Someone's
Miss Emma
getting the
Sky,
electric
please take the
chair.
stand.
Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins. Hell yeah, what a bro, dude.
Yeah. Edgeworth is, yeah.
Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation.
My name is Emma Sky. My occupation? I'm Lana's little sister, and I want to be a scientific investigator.
2 years ago, you encountered the serial killer Joe Dark of the Joe Dark killings.
I'd be lying if I said I hadn't. Or I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little excited to completely destroy every testimony she comes up with.
Is this correct?
Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that, though.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time.
Mr. Edward, please remember this trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. It's an incident that was resolved 2 years ago, really all that relevant.
Yes, it most certainly is.
Well, okay then. Continue.
He came in fast.
He gave the Joseph on Karma stare.
Yes.
Now, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago.
The trip to yesteryear has finally begun. It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial. Sorry, not sorry.
I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshu rescued me. But I'll never forget what I saw that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest.
It's a good thing you weren't harmed.
I passed out. I don't remember much.
That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder?
Everything.
That will soon become apparent, Your Honor.
You've got to admire him for his courage, considering he has no evidence.
Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination.
Can I leave, Your Honor?
Yeah, all right. Let's get down to the cross-examination.
I'm just gonna
No,
sit
I
down.
think you need to stay right there.
No, I'm just gonna sit down behind the
So
stand.
witness will allow the defense to cross-examine.
I see what you do to witnesses.
Miss Sky, it's time for the cross-examination.
No. I was waiting in my sister's office that day.
Hold it.
No.
2 years ago, the defendant was a detective at the police department, correct?
Yes, she was second in command under Chief Detective
Hold
Gunn.
it.
My sister. She was the best detective ever.
Hold it.
Yes, I remember. Chief Detective Gant and Miss Sky. Used to be quite the pair.
I believe they shared the same office.
That's right. I'd always sit at my sister's desk and dream about playing that organ. I wanted to play it that day, too.
The police department and the prosecutor's office held a ceremony that day.
Lana promised to take me to dinner after she finished her work.
This is like the dream tag team court date.
Yeah.
A man came running in and took me hostage.
Hold it!
Mm,
Oh, man.
yeah, a man. Yes, Joe Darky.
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 He was a serial killer. He ate
Joe
so much
Ducky.
cereal.
Joe Dark was brought in for questioning on the day of that ceremony. We were desperate to get anything on him that would lead to an arrest.
When he saw his chances, he fled to the room, right?
Upon fleeing the room, Dark proceeded to take the elevator. He must have been in a panic because the elevator was going up. Then he ran into Sky and Gant's office.
There was a lot of noise coming from outside, so I opened up the door to have a look. That's when I saw him. Neil Marshall rescued me.
Hold it!
But he did!
What was the prosecutor doing there?
But he did.
That day, there were two people present during Dark's questioning. Detective Damon Gant and Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
Gant was there too.
Neil Marshall had just received the King of Prosecutors Award. Young and dedicated, he went straight to the questioning room after the ceremony.
I assume that would also be why he was the first to run after Doc.
When Dark grabbed me, I thought I was as good as dead.
And that's when Prosecutor Marshall came running in.
I don't clearly remember what happened then. But I'll never forget what I saw that instant.
Hold
I
it!
don't remember what happened, but I'll never forget it.
Can you tell us about that?
Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark. Just then, the lights went out.
Ow.
The lights?
Yeah, they brighten up our room. It was just about this time of year. There was a terrible storm going on, and lightning struck nearby.
So the electricity went out.
Wait a minute. There was pitch dark in that room. You should have been able to see anything, right?
The judge is even objecting.
Right, but just then lightning flashed again outside. That sudden flash left an unforgettable image of the scene in my mind.
I see.
I told the detective about what I saw then.
The detective?
Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case.
Detective Bruce Goodman, the victim. So you spoke with Goodman about this 2 years ago?
Yes, that's what's so scary about this trial.
And you told Detective Goodman about what you saw?
Yes, but at the time, the words just wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture.
A picture? Yeah, I think she mentioned that before.
Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough?
Hold it! The picture the witness drew. I believe it has a very important meaning.
But the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture.
Witness, would you mind if we added the statement to your testimony?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, I can't look? No? Please?
No.
Oh, that's whack. Oh, hello.
Oh.
Oh,
That's...
A picture is drawn on the back of the evidence list in magic marker. Got a very bad feeling about this.
Oh, I think
I
we
seem I
have-
misunderstand what I was supposed to be looking for.
Nice job finding that.
Thank you.
I was actually expecting to have to point that out.
Yeah, okay, we did look at this. It occurred to me we hadn't checked everything, so I wanted to double do a once over, you know?
Yeah.
Which do we send a mail? 19th, 7 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. Single stab wound, piercing heart lung. Tatted wound was missing tip. Okay. I believe that catches us up.
Yeah.
The handprint can be seen on the leather cloth. The print belongs to Emma. I think I'll keep this information to myself. Alrighty then. Alright, I think we're caught up now.
I drew a picture of that scene once, but it seems to have been lost.
So can I just present that now since I found it? Or
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, let's
You
fuck-
should be able to.
let's fucking
yeah.
do it then.
Yeah. Okay. The music even stopped.
Stopped.
Oh, objection, Mr. Edgeworth. This little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. And yet you still insist on denying its existence.
Hey, I'm not the bad guy.
I'm sorry, it's reflex.
All I'm saying is that as the prosecutor for that case, I wasn't handed such a picture.
That may well be.
I love Edward's reaction. It's just like, what? Hold on a minute.
But that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold.
Behold.
This is the evidence list for the SL9 incident?
Please turn it over, Your Honor.
Turn it over? Turn it... Ah! What?
Have you never heard of magic marker, Judge?
Ah!
Yes, what is that?
I have one right here, Your Honor.
Ah!
Here, check it out.
What sorcery is this?
You put it on a whiteboard and then you put a rag over it and it disappears.
Ah!
Hey, that's it. That's the picture I drew.
Indeed. Two men appear to be wrestling here.
What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list?
Me?
Only the prosecutor in charge should have access to that list.
It's actually the second half of...
Huh? These lists, they're different from each other.
Oh, no!
What?
It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete. These two lists fit together to form one.
Fusion?
Fusion?
Ah!
You can see the marks here where they were torn apart from each other.
Go on, must have died then.
So... Duh. So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened. 2 years ago, only half of the evidence in that case ever reached you.
that fucking smile again.
What? What?
I love the shit-eating grin on Phoenix's face whenever we do this.
Order! Order!
The I have evidence to present face.
Who'd have thought the picture would have been drawn on the back of the list?
So nobody ever turned that page over?
Well,
Ever?
Gant had it.
Well, Gant had it, yeah.
That was handed to Detective Goodman in the questioning room?
Wait a minute. This list was torn in half, and that means... Your Honor!
Are you alright, Mr. Wright? Your eyes are bulging from your head!
If the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list.
Yes, that's quite conceivable. Mr. Edgeworth?
It's possible. Let's see.
I think he's having a conniption fit.
Something
Screaming
wrong.
internally.
Do you even have to ask?
This is how
He's
Edgeworth
pissed.
turns Super Saiyan.
Sorry, Your Honor. There is something drawn on the back of my list.
I just imagine Phoenix turning to his right to be like, did you see that? But no one's there because Emma's on the stand, so he just kind of looks sad for a second.
And Maya's not there. Maya, holy shit, did you see that?
Maya, did you?
Turns to his right. Maya, did you see? Emma, did you? Never mind.
Mia, did you see that from heaven?
Mia, please tell me you saw that.
No, I missed it.
Damn
This is the
it!
thing!
The blue demon.
That's what.
What the hell?
See, the blue demon was behind everything!
That thing.
That thing!
It's playing his music.
Yep.
That thing that was dancing in the evidence room!
Apparently, the head of criminal affairs used this for his blueprint.
I guess he was out of scrap paper.
Oh, Edgeworth was pissed because someone was drawing on his evidence.
Very well, witness.
And he never noticed.
And he never noticed.
Don't
Gotta
mind
be
me.
hidden.
I'm just cranking my head 90 degrees here.
Yeah.
So it was the blue demon.
You
Descended from
the
heaven.
Blue demon
You
possessed the guy with the knife and made him kill the other guy.
Blue demon.
bastard!
Kill him! Kill him!
Kill him quickly! You gotta go fast!
You must go quickly.
Will you please testify about the picture you drew 2 years ago?
Yes,
And
Miss
she's
Sky.
burst into fucking tears.
Please testify.
Do 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 do.
Testify!
She's playing with it like a little.
Castlevania.
Do do do. Huh? Oh, yes, sir. Your Honor.
What's wrong with Emma?
I don't know, I think she just had her earbuds in.
Something when she saw the picture. Well, please, Miss Sky, testify further.
Well, fine then.
Testify further.
This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows. After that, I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw that instant.
To think a flash of lightning could burn such an image in your mind.
Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw.
Well, I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows Joe Dock about to murder prosecutor Neil Marshall. The defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Does he have to?
Oh,
Yes.
I have to. I have a right.
Okay.
Honestly,
And you're gonna sit there, look pretty, and answer my damn questions.
Well, 2 out of 3 of those. Burn.
This is the picture I drew 2 years ago.
Hold it!
Uh,
Did you draw this picture right after the incident?
I was expecting him to say, "Did you draw this picture 2 years ago?"
I think I drew it 2 or 3 days later. At first, I was in such a state of shock that I couldn't do anything.
During that time, the detective team was reorganized. Detective Goodman was placed in charge, under the direction of Damon Gant and Lana Skye.
2 or 3 days later. Memory should still have been fresh in her mind.
excuse me, witness. But can you please tell us why the picture is painted all black?
Because she only saw shadows.
The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows.
Hold it! So at the time, you didn't even know it was Mr. Marshall who had come to your rescue?
No, I couldn't see him clearly. The lightning was so bright, and I was knocked to the floor.
You were knocked to the floor.
Dark had a tight grip on me, but when Mr. Marshall jumped on him, I was knocked away. I turned around, and that's when the lightning flashed.
Poor Emma. I'm having a great time, though.
What happened after the lightning flashed?
Edgar's probably thinking Phoenix is enjoying this way too much.
After that, I must have fainted.
Hold it!
Please stop it!
No, I have a right to cross-examine.
Did you know?
No!
You mean you didn't see the actual murder take place?
No, I'm sorry.
The flash of lightning only drove off the darkness for a split second. Not only that, but the trauma of the situation understandably caused the witness to faint. Do you really need to torture this girl any further?
Objection!
I was right.
Absolutely, I do.
Damn, Edward is like...
Edwards is straight up calling Phoenix out.
Hey, I'm not the bad guy here.
Enough of your shit, man.
Anyway, this picture shows exactly what I saw that instant.
Hold it. Sorry, Brad. So many
The cat jumped on me.
times, but are you sure you drew exactly what you saw?
Of course, this is the exact scene.
It wasn't influenced in any of your talks with the detectives?
Are you insinuating we somehow manipulated her memory, Mr. Wright?
No, of course not. Better watch out, or he might find some way to cut my salary that I don't have. Hey, money!
I drew this picture before I heard anything from the detectives.
No, you said it took you 2 or 3 days, though. You told me you didn't talk to detectives for 2 or 3 days?
I don't remember. So I don't think anyone's story would have influenced me.
Oh, I guess she wouldn't have talked to Annie because she was in that state of shock.
She was like traumatized.
Yeah.
Mr. Wright, is there something that's bothering you about this picture?
Probably hasn't figured it out yet.
Help me find this
Blue demon.
torturing this little girl.
Yes, Your Honor. That's strange. She claims this is exactly the scene that was imprinted in her mind. And yet, it's clearly a contradiction here.
Oh, right.
I remember this one.
I don't.
This is
I don't
this is
either.
the picture I drew. The lightning flash. After all, yeah, this
Just
picture.
look through your court record with that picture on screen.
how like specific I need to get, because I can point out that in this picture the knife's already broken. At least it's already square, but that could have been how she drew it. So I don't know how specific I clicked out of the window. Specific I need to get.
I can't remember. So
What's the autopsy report say?
That he was.
Punctured, stabbed in the back.
Oh.
oh, so
And
right
he
now.
was. Yeah, he was stabbed in the
Face to
back.
face.
Yet that. Yeah, with
a
him.
heart and a long knife stick was in the way. And I guess from that angle, it wouldn't really be the back because they were looking at each other.
Yeah, they were looking at each other. He stabbed him in the chest from that angle. So yeah, that would.
Objection!
there we go.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture the witness drew contains a blatant contradiction.
What? But I still remember it just like it was yesterday.
Mr. Wright. Perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out this contradiction for us.
That's no fun.
I
Right dude's face, I guess. Safe state, though.
I think it's this part here.
No, that's not it.
Fuck.
We're not
I don't
gonna
see what's
bother.
strange about that. Try use by like where his arm is, because you know.
Well,
Yeah.
Like right down here, or like that arm?
Well, the one that would be protecting his body. Yes, that one.
Then.
No, I guess not.
That's because the drawing stinks.
Mr. Wright, how could you?
The act of making an innocent girl cry should warrant the death penalty.
Oh, fuck you. He means I shouldn't shift the blame to others. Eat shit, Edgeworth.
Go eat
Do
your
the knife,
fruit
I don't know.
basket.
What?
Maybe his hand like grabbing the guy's collar or the shirt.
I thought maybe
Maybe it was
the hand on his.
maybe it was the knife, because you wouldn't think it would be
Oh,
based on what
yeah.
we're trying to prove, but I feel like that was it.
The knife.
Yeah, you can try the knife. Yeah.
I have a safe state for this.
No, I meant you highlight the knife in the drawing.
Whoops. I understand. Hello, knife. No. The contradiction, of course, lies here. Take a look at the knife the man is holding. If you look closely, you can see the tip is broken.
Oh, they are going for that.
Oh.
In fact, you don't even have to look closely to see that.
I was ahead of the game.
But Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? Its tip is broken too.
If I recall, the tip of the knife was found broken in the victim's body.
It was the conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Dark was the murderer.
But he was only stabbed once.
I'm afraid it's not so simple, Emma.
Huh? Where could you possibly see a problem?
Give me a second.
It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. If the victim was only stabbed once, then the murder weapon should not yet be broken.
Ah! What's the meaning of this?
Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand.
And how did the knife tip get inside of him? Sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body. If it was broken beforehand, it couldn't possibly wind up there.
That's right. But what does this mean?
The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body. The only possible explanation is the witness's memory is mistaken.
That's why I
Fucking back
asked
and
so many
forth.
times she was sure she remembered correctly.
And then you called me an asshole.
I believe you were annoyed at the time, but she was sure she remembered correctly.
But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency.
This is great! Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. There is another explanation. Have you forgotten already about a little something called falsified evidence?
You're treading on thin ice, Wright.
All I'm saying is that this broken knife might be the piece of evidence that was forged. You can't deny the possibility.
No.
Got him.
Order! Order! Order!
I don't know why I got really into those lines.
That was like 6 back-to-back objectives.
That was great, dude.
Are you saying the investigation really was corrupted?
This is why I love doing like this voice acting stuff.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's moments like this where there's just something really good going on. Like, I love it. Your Honor, please allow me to once again go over the events that took place the day of the murder.
Very well.
The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day. After receiving the King of the Prosecutors Award at the ceremony, Neil Marshall questioned Joe Dark with Damon Gant. During his questioning, Joe Dark fled the room. Prosecutor Marshall chased after him and was killed by Dark. It is my belief that somewhere in this story, there was a lie.
Muted.
Sorry. I'm not lying. The man really was holding up a broken knife.
If that's true, then there's no other way around it. This could not have been the actual murder weapon. There must have been another broken knife.
What are the chances of there being 2 broken knives?
Another broken knife besides Joe Dark's? Could there have been one?
Yeah.
I think the answer's obvious, but I like safe states anyways.
Yeah.
If the witness is this adamant about the accuracy of what she saw, it can't just be explained away by a simple observational error.
Mr. Wright.
In that instant, Emma really did see a broken knife.
I assume, then, that you have some information about this other broken knife? If so, please feel free to enlighten us.
The murder weapon was already broken prior to the murder. There's only one way. Take a look at this. Here's the real murder weapon. Hello?
I think it had something to do with the King
King of
Prosecutor.
prosecutors, yeah.
Because the blade on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess it'd be...
Yeah, the joke.
Yeah, because Gant prohibited the knife part of the statue
Trophy after. After.
at the trial.
If anything's broken here, it's you.
Huh?
I guess you're supposed to submit the photograph.
I'm sure that
Can
all
it,
this
Your
is
Honor.
very amusing
Can
to you,
it.
Mr.
Can
Wright.
it, Your Honor? Can it? The answer lies in the past. 2 years in the past. Right here inside this picture.
This is a picture of the awards ceremony. Ah!
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
It's the broken murder weapon.
Notice the award prosecutor Marshall is holding.
That's a broken knife.
As we earlier concluded, the knife in the picture was not Joe Dark's knife. That being the case, the knife the witness saw was in all likelihood this award.
Order! Order! Order!
Neil Marshall was awarded King of Prosecutors that day. As an award, he was given this broken shield and a broken knife. When he chased after Joe Dark, he pulled out this knife. Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol. This broken knife was the only weapon he had in this dangerous situation.
But that can't be.
Oh, and why not, Mr. Edgeworth?
Because if the King of Prosecutors Award knife was the murder weapon, then the murderer and the victim would be reversed.
What do you mean?
I mean, this man raising a knife would have been Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh!
Oh. But the prosecutor was the one who actually died.
That's true. What's going on here?
It seems Mr. Wright has been a bit too eager to jump to conclusions.
Wait, I remember now. I remember everything.
Witness?
Mr. Edgeworth,
What is it?
could you show me your evidence list again, please?
His list? The one with the picture scribbled on the back?
I knew it. This picture. I'm the one who drew it.
What?
You drew that?
That's right. The list wasn't torn in half at the time I drew this picture. All this time I've been trying so hard to forget. I must have locked this part away deep inside me.
Perhaps it would be best if we added this to the witness's testimony.
This is long and by far the best of the 3 days we've had out of this trial.
Totally. Would you please tell us what you recalled, Miss Sky?
Yes, Your Honor.
First the knife mix-up and now the blue badger. Demon, the blue demon. This should be interesting.
When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and rushed towards both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Just then there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue demon! He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow.
Did the blue demon exist 2 years ago?
Gumshoe just created it.
This is certainly most unusual. I mean, that's what I'm trying to
Well,
get here.
he just created the big one. That's true.
This is certainly most unusual.
Try impossible? The head detective of criminal affairs didn't even design him until this year.
That would mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago.
Yes, well, the defense may now begin the cross-examination. Stop, please. Don't pursue this any further.
Lana,
What's the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant's chair. But you can't do this. I've already confessed to the crime. Why can't you just leave it at that?
Chief Prosecutor Sky. We've already come this far. It's too late to turn back.
Silence! The defense will now begin its cross-examination. Bailiff, please detain the defendant.
seems we're finally getting to the core of the problem pattern. See it? Go ahead.
When I saw that man raise his knife,
This is all business now. I don't care about the fun of the
The ripping her testimony
Yeah.
apart.
This is all business now. When you say that man, I assume you refer to Joe Dark.
yes, at least I think it was him. It was somebody anyway.
You think?
All I could really see were shadows.
No, I mean I was just surprised that you can think.
I can't think. I'm scientific.
The power outage that immediately preceded the incident is also documented in the prosecutor's office reports.
So then you...
I panicked and rushed towards both of them.
Why would you do something so dangerous?
What else could I have done? He was about to stab Mr. Marshall.
She seems convinced that Dark was the one holding the knife.
But as we've just theorized, Mr. Marshall was the one holding the knife.
Well, I didn't know that at the time. When that dark guy knocked me down, all I could think was, I've got to help Mr. Marshall. I think I knocked away the man with the knife.
So is it gonna be
Big
like,
oops.
big oops?
Yeah.
Well, if it was Marshall that held the knife.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you mean by you think?
It all happened so fast, and I was in shock. I don't remember everything clearly. What I did felt kind of a blur.
Like a blue blur?
In a matter of just a few seconds, Miss Sky was almost killed. Then she witnessed a murder about to take place. A little disorientation is only natural.
Guess you'd know.
I saw the man about to stab the other person, who I thought was Mr. Marshall. I knew I had to stop the man with the knife.
What you did was very brave, young girl. So then, what happened next?
Just then there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue demon. Saying stuff like, gotta go fast and kill him quickly.
Kill him quickly!
Kill him quick!
Are you
Just kill him! Kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him! Kill him!
gotta kill fast? Are you sure about this? Are you sure?
Of course. See? I even drew a picture of him here. He was hovering above him.
But-
It was weird.
The head detective of criminal affairs thought up this hideous beast. And that was just this year. The Blue Badger didn't exist 2 years ago. This is all quite verifiable.
I know it sounds strange. I was surprised too when I saw him at the police department. I had this nagging feeling that I'd seen him before somewhere. Now I finally remember.
Oh, brother. Just when you thought thing that caused enough commotion.
Tell us, where in the room did you see him dancing?
He was hovering.
Time-traveling demon.
In the room. There are tentacles sprouting from the back.
He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow.
His shadow. So you mean you did actually see his face with its winning smile and all?
That's right, but I still remember it. He had 3 creepy horns.
This is pointless.
No, she just said there's 3 points. Horns?
That's not funny, Mr. Wright.
I think it is.
That thing couldn't have possibly existed 2 years ago. The witness must be mistaken.
Oh, here we go. That may well be. But what's important is what caused her to think she saw what she did.
Oh? And I suppose you have an explanation? If so, then by all means, please tell us what this shadow really was.
What was it Emma saw when the lightning flashed? Who is this blue demon, really? I have no clue. But we gotta know for the sake of this.
Yeah,
Badger hadn't even dreamed up when Emma drew this picture. Yet she's certain she saw its shadow. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the defense's belief that on the fateful day 2 years ago, there indeed was something that looked similar to the Blue Badger demon. Something that is now sitting in this very room.
Muted.
Ah, why keep doing that? Mr. Wright!
in this room. Very well, Mr. Wright. What is it the witness saw in that instant?
Important to remember, she only saw a shadow.
Shadow. Okay, this is when we pop one of these boys. Save states. Shadow. Saw shadow.
Oh, the vase.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
This part's a little annoying. It gets a bit finicky.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I remember this part.
Oh, we gotta probably rotate it to show all the handles.
Fuck. This mysterious blue badger was, in fact, this.
But that... what exactly is that?
I believe it's some sort of jar.
But Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything like the blue demon.
Indeed it doesn't. As it stands now, it's just a plain jar. However, what if we were to change our viewpoint?
Our viewpoint?
I've got to show them the correct angle to look at this from. I'm gonna save state because I don't know if it's gonna present me problems.
Just save state before you hit present, and then if it's wrong, then you don't have to wait for the whole text and everything.
It's the jar that held the blue demon soul.
Okay. Let's see. Fuck this already. All I'm saying.
Yep.
Yeah, this part sucks, dude.
Yeah, I remember.
I think those arrows do something. Yeah.
Yikes, dude. Okay, hang on. I put the controller down. You might want to just, like, carry on a conversation.
This is... like... yeah, this...
Most people already know this, but Hunter x Hunter is good. It's really good, and if you haven't watched it, you should go watch it.
Indeed.
What is that?
It's Hunter. It's Hunter X Hunter, but you don't pronounce the X.
Yeah, it's Hunter x Hunter. It's made by the same guy that made...
Yu Yu Hakusho.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah!
Whoa!
That's what the guy...
the hell am I doing?
I don't know, but yeah, like...
Fuck this stupid jar.
Yeah, like...
It's a shonen anime with really good writing.
Yes.
Yu Hakusho.
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
It's been on hiatus for a really long time, though. The dub is finally going to be caught up to the subtitled episodes in, like, March or something
nice.
like that.
Yeah.
So let's see. To see all horns, it's got to be at, like,
Weird angle, I mean. Go ahead, save state and go for there, because you can see the horns and... I mean, this is...
this isn't right. I've got to make it look more like the Badger.
Allow me to remind the defense its case hinges on the
Oh.
witnesses.
Fuck off, Edgeworth. Oh, okay.
Oops.
He didn't like that one.
Yeah! Super fuck off, Edgeworth!
Damn, Edgeworth crashed the whole game.
He fucking hated
Yeah.
that one, dude. Hang on. Damn. When you hate something that your fucking opposition says so much, you just destroy
Crash
reality.
the game! Yeah!
Rage quit.
That fucking state is just bonked, dude.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Try the other one you made? Because you made
No.
two! One of them, it's just we're gonna have to go through the talking before it, just before it.
Hello?
Hello?
Okay.
Okay, we were...
Please, game. Please work. Please.
Okay, well, at least this
Yeah.
one works.
Yeah! Well,
Thank God.
we're good.
It actually looks pretty close when you get it right. As far as, like, the position of the three horns.
Fuck all of this, dude. Oh my goodness. I don't like this.
Why are you doing this to us, game?
God, we're so close to it. The game just isn't letting us do it.
Yeah. Like, nope!
Try it with, like, the wide end closer towards you.
Maybe if I flip this
I remember
picture.
having a lot of trouble with this when I got to it.
I know it's at a, like, weird angle where you don't actually really, like, just see either opening completely facing you like that.
Maybe it's got also. You can also use the bottom of the vase as like the top horn. Trying to remember how it worked. Because the middle horn does come to like a point from some curved edge. And that's kind of what the bottom piece looked like.
Yeah, but it's really far away.
Can you zoom in?
Shit's bonkers. And there's blood on that side too.
But if it's gonna be like this, then it had to be on this side.
Like, rotate it more towards you? So I feel like that's right, like you're on the right track.
Gee,
Yeah,
what is
what
that
Galuf posted.
shit? Fuck that.
Is it that?
Yeah, I was sort of on point with it, almost.
Yeah.
That good enough? Thank you. Fuck that noise, dude. Well, is this a miracle or what?
How fitting.
Yeah, no one can possibly deny this jar's resemblance to the blue demon.
No. It can't be!
That's impossible.
A dud?
Order! Order! The defense has proven its claim.
What else is new? Sky's blue, grass green, you breathe oxygen.
The mysterious blue demon witness on the day of the crime was actually this!
Although we all enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one question remains. What's your point?
What do you mean?
So that badger thing was actually just a jar. That doesn't change anything.
Oh. I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, this changes everything.
There's bland,
Indeed.
bland all over.
Very well then, please tell us. What's different now that we know the witness saw this jar?
See, this wasn't what I was thinking about at all. So,
Maybe the murder weapon?
Good.
Because it was broken.
Yeah.
It was put into evidence. There's a bunch of blood on it.
allow me to take these in turn. At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar.
Not only that, but she saw it at a very specific angle.
Knowing this, where could she have seen this jar?
Where?
The location of the jar is shown in a picture taken on the day of the crime. It's on a shelf in the office of Damon Gant.
But the body was found lying near Lana Sky's desk.
Wow. Wow, wait, you mean you're catching on?
The witness testified so herself.
Yes, and it is these two facts that reveal what actually transpired. You see, the struggle between Dark and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room in Chief Gant's office.
Are you implying the murderer moved the victim's body from Damon Gant's office to Lana Sky's office?
Yes.
Why would he do that? There's no reason.
Exactly. If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion is that there was a reason.
Do you know what the reason was, Mr. Wright?
Finally figured it out. So this is why Lana tried to stop the trial. It's too late to quit now, though. Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. In the next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now tell me, what could have sent the jar flying?
There would have to have been the impact the man made when he was knocked into the wall.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I may draw your attention to this picture once more. If the man was knocked in the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on, what would he have hit?
The suit of armor, holding a very sharp and dangerous looking sword.
Yes. Whoa, wait, what?
That's what I was thinking.
And
Yeah.
since the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife, he would have had to have been Neil Marshall wielding the prosecutor's award.
No. Mr. Wright, you can't be thinking...
Yes. There was another possibility of what actually transpired in that room.
Another possibility?
Of course, the perpetrator would have had no idea, but nevertheless. I don't know if I can go through with this.
Emma killed a
Mr.
guy.
Wright, what's the matter? Yeah, she tackled Marshall thinking it was dark,
Neil.
not knocked Marshall into the armor and it killed Marshall.
If events took place as the defense theorizes, then the outcome is obvious. In that moment, assuming the man Emma Skye knocked away was actually Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
You mean Mr. Marshall died because of me? No!
Oh, great. Now she's dead.
I never imagined her testimony would lead to this.
What the fuck?
So it was the who took the victim's life. And then proved so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented.
You might as well just call me Phoenix Unprecedented Wright.
What? What are you saying?
I'm sorry, Miss Skye, but given the circumstances...
Joe Dock murdered Prosecutor Marshall. How do you think it was Emma? How dare you try to pin this crime on her?
Imagine that coming from you.
Damn! Dude.
Oh, that...
If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding out about what Emma did, wasn't it?
I assure you, Mr. Edwards, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you hope to have anyone believe your insane allegations, I'm afraid you're gonna have to have proof.
So did anyone move Emma, or is she just standing on her sister's unconscious body right now?
Oh, sorry, sis. Hold on a minute, right?
Tell me, you have any conclusive evidence that proves my sister killed Neil Marshall?
What about a
Fingerprints.
piece of leather with her fingerprints all over it? Evidence.
Oh, and what was Neil wearing?
Cowboy shit. Leather.
Yeah.
Leather, yeah. I'm willing to bet you do.
Shut the fuck up, Lana.
Yes, I certainly would be difficult to prove this with evidence.
If we don't have evidence, then we'll have to rely on testimony.
I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead.
Certainly can't get dead people to testify. Hello? You live in the fucking world of spirit mediums, dipshit!
Yes, you can literally go get my,
The court's not gonna go for that.
That's some bullshit.
We literally had a dead lawyer, a dead person play lawyer twice.
This has all been a wild goose chase from the beginning.
Touché, Miss Skye. Of course, that only leaves us with one possibility.
You mean there's still another possibility?
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
I mean the possibility that the victim has left us a message. For better or for worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life. Somehow.
That's impossible.
Oh yeah, the base had markings on it.
Well,
Not just blood
Mr.
splatter. I
Wright.
just remember that.
What is
Yep.
the only possibility left to you? This is the only... A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist?
Gotta think back to the court record. The real murderer's name that the victim may have left behind. Well, I mean, it's gotta be in the evidence.
Evidence?
I'll take the case.
The message
I have the evidence.
from the deceased is already in our possession.
Mr. Wright, will you stop at nothing to prove my sister's a murderer?
Yes, that's my job. Thank you. It's manslaughter.
Do not be mistaken, Miss Sky. Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crime. There is only one thing we seek. The truth. No matter how painful it may be.
Now then, Mr. Wright. Please show us the piece of evidence that conveys a message from the deceased.
Yeah, pretty sure it's the base.
We'll try.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, the red line's on it.
This is the message left by the deceased.
Squiggles.
This is that blue demon from before, right? Oh, is he going to just speak the killer's name?
You're being awfully snide for someone who's about to get their face rubbed in the dirt.
If that thing could, I'm sure it would.
Looks like everyone's forgotten this is just a jar. A message was left here, on the surface of this jar.
What do you mean?
If you look closely,
At this jar.
you can see a faint trail of blood on this jar.
It looks like someone wiped the blood away.
Yes, but notice, for some reason, the blood was on. For some reason, the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away.
Yes, there's a line here, drawn in blood.
Now's the game to connect the dots. Guess what it's
I
gonna
think
spell?
Briggs sees it. So what you're saying is these dots were once lines.
Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used his few precious moments left to him to leave behind a message.
One that someone apparently wiped away.
And then hid in a
But
safe.
blood must have seeped into the jar where the lines changed directions.
Precisely so. All we need to do is connect these points. And then in the victim's message will become apparent.
No! Mr. Wright. What kind of message did the victim leave for us?
Your Honor, I believe these bloodstains will reveal to us the answer. We've got to connect these dots to make letters. There's only one thing the victim would have written given the circumstances. The murderer's name. Oh, I gotta actually oh goodness.
Yep.
Oh goodness.
It's okay, it's not asking you to, draw, it's just gonna connect them, and if you're doing it wrong, it just won't work.
Okay. Oh. Okay. Okay, yeah. Wait.
Just leave that one unconnected.
Okay. Yep. Let's see. Can I cut? Okay, I can cut. It's a defense attorney's duty to prove his client's innocence. That's why all I've been thinking about is saving Lana. After all my efforts, I never thought it would turn out like this. Emma.
So this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind.
of all people. She may not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life.
You're really phrasing that in the most long-lasting, permanent effect on someone's psyche way possible, aren't you? Was Emma's die.
It's probably a good idea. Good thing she's unconscious for this.
Yes.
I feel like I'm not making very many friends over the course of this case.
Seaworthy? Can't say I didn't warn you.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, eat a dick!
Chief Gat. You understand the implications of what you've done? What? What are you talking about? 2 years ago, Joe Dark was sentenced to death. He was convicted because of his final murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in the case, were you not? Yes, Worthy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death. Not only that, but you used forged evidence to ensure his conviction.
But Joe Dark really was a serial murderer. That's undeniable.
I'm afraid that's not important.
That's very important, actually.
Didn't you know? We aren't defenders of justice.
What?
We're merely keepers of the law. Sentencing a man to death is no light matter. Even if there wasn't any cover-up or evidence forgery. Ultimately, the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge. Despite what anyone may say, this fact cannot be denied.
What's going on at the prosecutor's office?
He might have sent an innocent man to his death.
How can he just stand there like it wasn't his fault?
There's the Friza guy again.
Order!
The gavel's pounding fell on deaf ears. Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Where this trial is headed, no one knows.
To be continued.
To be continued.
Wowie, dude.
Wow.
Oh, howie zowie.
Wowie zowie. But this video has ended for the stop recording button, so...
Yeah.
Cliffhanger. Ooh.
Cliffhanger!
This case is more nuts than I remember.
This is fucking
Yeah.
crazy, dude. Even with its stupid, shitty gimmicks I don't like.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
This last court day they built up to is just the best.